Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rockstar Expressions. So this video is going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be my first top 5 video. And I definitely want to do more of these. I really love the idea of just going through a list and comparing things. And obviously I love bachata, and I especially love bachata remixes. And so, of course, today is going to be the top 5 songs that freaking suck, but for some reason, I love the bachata remix. Yeah. Get ready, because this one is going to be awesome. So there's a couple rules for this particular video. Number 1, the song must have been a hit on the radio. So it has to have an impact on the collective consciousness of people. So when they hear the song, they already have an association with it. And then when they hear the bachata remix, they are now going to make new associations, but those new associations are based off of dance. And being able to interpret a song as a dancer is very different than interpreting a song as a listener. And so you'll notice a lot of the things I talk about are going to be very different. And that's the main reason why this divergent split in liking and hating seems to happen. Number 2, it must have been played at a festival, which means not only is the song itself good enough to be played on the radio, the song also has to be good enough to be played by DJs, specifically bachata DJs, at a festival, therefore making the remix itself also very good. Number 3, I must hate the original. And believe me, these 5 songs, oh god, do I hate the originals. They're terrible. And number 4, I gotta love the remix. If I don't like the remix, it doesn't count. The whole point of this video is to show how a really good remix and a really good song can completely change my interpretation of it, especially when I'm interpreting it as a dancer as opposed to as a listener. So you'll notice there's going to be a lot of songs on here that you think would make this list, but actually don't. So an example would be John Legend's All of Me. I absolutely love this song. I think it's an incredible song. Lyrically, it's great. Musically, it's great. And the bachata remix, also great. One of my favorite ones of all time. So it's not going to make the list because I don't hate it. Stay With Me by Sean Smith. I love that too. I love that song. I heard the remix. I think the remix is even better than the original. I love dancing to it. I love being able to move to it. And I think interpretively, it's incredible. So it's not going to make the list. It's too good, both sides. But another flip example would be Calvin Harris's How Deep Is Your Love. That song is total crap. It's EDM at its worst. The lyrics are horrible. They're stupid and they're vapid. And it's somebody trying to be deep when they're clearly not deep and they have really nothing to say. And then when I hear the bachata version of it, that's also crap. It's also kind of EDM-y, but it doesn't really provide any way to move differently than just this very narrow way of moving. It's simple, it's boring, it doesn't provide anything, it doesn't bring anything to the table. So the problem is these are both bad. So I wouldn't like either one of it. It's a shitty song, and when you turn it into bachata, it's also shit. Who cares? There's nothing interesting about that. Another example would be Shawn Mendes' Stitches. My god, this song is terrible. Lyrically, it's just dumb. It doesn't rhyme at all. There's so many times where he just kind of stops and he's like writing a lyric and then he's like my knees stitches he doesn't finish lines. I mean, half the lines don't rhyme, and the song itself is boring. It's not catchy. It's a white guy with acoustic guitar crap. And then when I hear the bachata version, even though it's sung by better people, it just completely brings out all of the things that are wrong with the song that maybe are kind of covered up by the fact that the original song is just kind of catchy. But when you do it to a bachata version, now it's terrible. Now it's like shining a flashlight on somebody's warts. Ugh. I don't want to look at this. I don't want to hear this. It's terrible. So both songs are terrible. So it doesn't really count. What we're really looking for is a song that is very bad, either lyrically or musically or both. But then when I hear the bachata version, I love it. Now, all of a sudden, those things that were negatives either become positives or are not accentuated, and hence bringing out the actual positives of the song. So bear in mind that I definitely hate all of these songs. But that's not to say that they don't have some good qualities to them. It just means that in their current state, you can't hear them. But the bachata version of them, it brings it out. And it's not just because I can dance bachata to it. There are plenty of songs that I can dance bachata to that don't move me. You know, there's a bachata version of songs that are just mediocre or that are bad, and it doesn't matter. I.e. the Calvin Harris and Shawn Mendes songs. So what? So there's a bachata version to it. I don't want to dance to it. So yeah. So without further ado, here we go. The top 5 bachata songs that suck as regular songs but are awesome as bachata remixes. Number 5, Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball. Now I know what you're saying. Ryan, you actually like a Miley Cyrus song? Hear me out. Lyrically, I actually very much enjoy this song. The idea of breaking down someone's walls because you want to open them up really strikes a chord with me. I really love to get to the heart of people, to get to their depths, to get to their souls. And I can easily see going too strong, especially with somebody that you really love and really care about. And so lyrically, I actually really much enjoy this song. However, the beat to this song is just annoying and nasal and super minimalist in the beginning, and then when the wrecking ball comes in, it's just loud and glaring, and it hurts the ears, and it's annoying. And I mean, just the production on this song is just utter crap. And then, fuck, let's face it, Miley Cyrus, you're just a terrible singer. I mean, you know, you would do awesome in karaoke, but to give you an actual song, I mean, it doesn't work. And especially in a song like this. You know, a song that is supposed to have emotional depth to it. A song that is meant for you to go, oh, wow, I can relate to that. I can relate to pushing too hard, to making somebody feel really uncomfortable simply because I was trying to get too deep with them too quickly. That makes sense. Like, believe me when I say that everybody can relate to this. The problem is, though, Miley, like, she can't hit the high notes. She can't emote properly to the low notes. And the video is just horrid. I mean, it completely just destroys any sense of, like, vulnerability that this song would have. Any sense of remorse or sorrow that the song should have. It just completely counters it. So, I mean, the song is just, it's an atrocity. But it could be good. And yet it's not. And therein lies the big problem. And Miley has a ton to do with it. And yet, when I hear the bachata version, something changes. So, the guy who did this remix, basically all he did was add a bachata beat. He made it a little bit faster, but it gives the song a little bit of sense of urgency now. There's a build to it. It climbs. You know? Instead of just like having this very low tone and then all of a sudden kaboom, yeah, I get it. Musically, it does mimic the way a wrecking ball feels, but I don't want that. I really want to feel the emotion of the song. I want to feel the sorrow and the remorse of the singer, and I don't get that in the original version. But in the remix, it all comes out because the song is allowed to breathe. When the wrecking ball chorus comes out, instead of this huge pounding noise, it's strings. It's beautiful. There's just wonderful little synthed out like use of strings and symphonic sounds that just I mean, it still hits. And that's the crazy part. Even though it's soft, it still hits. There's still a very clear change between the chorus and the verse. Or excuse me, between the verse and the chorus. And yet, because it's done softer, we can appreciate that change so much more. It actually sinks in as opposed to just smashing us in the ears and making us not want to listen anymore. So the nice part is that each part of this song provides for a lot of musical interpretation. You can be aggressive and fast and sharp. You can be slow, beautiful, smooth. You can be sexy. You can be vulnerable. The versatility and the beauty of this makes it sing so much superior to the original. And I love it. I mean, I absolutely love it. And finally, the Bachata remix gives this song the background that the lyrics needed. And now the lyrics can actually shine forth, and we can really feel this sadness that she has, this regret that she has for being so forceful. And that only comes out by being less forceful. Ironic, is it not? But it works, and it's beautiful, and I love it. So, that's number 5. Coming up, number 4 is Usher's Climax. Now, lyrically, again, this is another one of those songs that I actually really, really like lyrically. I think it's much better. Not much better, but I do think it's better than Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball's lyrics are a little stilted, whereas Climax, you get a very clear sense of this relationship gone bad, of them reaching their climax and then breaking apart, and then, you know, being in love but being separated, and thinking that it should be better if they were separated, but they can't, and now they're at this climax, and there's so much emotion, there's a story going on, like you really feel for these two characters. And lyrically it's great, but my god, what is wrong with this beat? It is stilted, it's disjointed, it always almost reaches a climax, but then it just drops out and goes silent, and then there's not even a build, and then it just dies. It's like musical blue balls. I mean, the beat, and oh my god, when the beat is actually there, it sounds like a fart. It sounds like someone recorded a fart and then synthesized it or auto-tuned it. Like, I don't want to listen to auto-tuned farts. This is terrible. And it totally, completely destroys what the lyrics are trying to say. Again, in Wrecking Ball, the transition was too sharp. And so, yes, I realize that musically it does feel like a Wrecking Ball hit, but it just doesn't work it doesn't feel right as a song because it's missing the emotion. Whereas this beat does nothing. It provides no emotion. It does not help the song in any way. And in fact, it completely hinders. It takes away from everything that's going on. I mean, it really sounds like whoever wrote this song just wrote out the lyrics, and then somebody listened to it and was like, well, let's put a beat behind it. Here you go. Without any sort of interpretation of the lyrics. In fact, they probably didn't even hear the lyrics before they made the beat. They just kind of slapped the beat on. It's terrible. It is really terrible. Like, it's minimalist, but the beat choices are all wrong. If you're gonna be minimalist, if you're gonna have few sounds, they gotta be good. They have to sound correct, and they have to fit along with the lyrics and enhance them. Everything this beat does just takes away from the lyrics, and you don't get to feel the sense of climax, you don't get to feel the sense of loss, you don't get to feel the sense of regret. All you feel is musical farting. Not even musical farting, synthesized farting. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And yet, when we get to the remix, my god, all the problems with the beat are completely gone. This is a beat I can get behind. Pianos, cool snaps, a bachata beat, actual instruments, actual instrumentation, a smooth sound that actually rises to a climax, thus allowing the lyrics to shine through, the energy to shine through. When you're dancing, you can actually make your moves grow bigger and bigger in movement and feel and power and passion, leading up to the climax, and then bam, really hitting huge dips, huge movements, and then bringing it back because the song brings it back and slows it down again, and then eventually it rises again and rises again to that really, really wonderful, like, long note that goes on for like 10 seconds. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, the dances I have had to this song, to this remix, I mean, just are mind-blowing. I mean, some of the best songs I've ever had in my entire life, and it's because you can play with the lyrics so much more because they're brought to the forefront now because the beat is not taking away from them. The beat is enhancing them. It's giving you this extra energy and this extra feel. And so, Usher's climax, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, you get the right girl, man, and y'all are going to climax together, if you know what I'm saying. It means you're going to orgasm. See, when you give away the joke, it doesn't work. You need to use what you're doing and what you're saying to enhance, not to take away. And that's what the original beat sounds like. It sounds like somebody was literally just giving you the punchline. You know, it doesn't work. It just farts along. But my God, this remix just, so much feels, so much heart. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay. Number 3 is Zayn's Pillow Talk. Now, for those who don't know, Zayn is actually one of the singers from One Direction, and he's currently going solo. And he put out a song, and it sounds like he is missing the other 4 dudes, because this song is a mess. Whereas I really liked the lyrics of the first 2 songs, and my real qualm was with the beat, because the beat was taking away from lyrics that I felt were really powerful and really impactful. These lyrics are terrible. Terrible. Just listen. We'll go slow and high tempo. You can't do that. You have to do one or the other. Light and dark. Hold me hard and mellow. Mellow? Mellow. What? You can't hold hard and mellow. It's one or the other. It's or it's one or the other. Just because you're putting these 2 things together does not mean you're gaining effect, right? This is just a needless juxtaposition. All this is putting 2 things next to each other that seem like opposites, and you're trying to get some sort of effect out of it, but it's not working because they have no semblance. They're complete opposites. You're not building to anything. You're just putting words together that make no sense, that are freaking antonyms of each other. It doesn't work. It's not creating an effect. If anything, it's diverging your effect. It's diverging your meaning from what you were trying to do. It's obscuring meaning. It's obscuring feeling. It's just making things worse. And then it goes on to, so we'll piss off the neighbors. Classy. Yeah, this has been done a million times before. In fact, better. Have you heard of Trey songs? In the place that feels the tears, the place to lose your fears. Seriously, bro? Come on, rule number 1 of storytelling and of songwriting. Show, don't tell. What is this place that feels the tears? You mean sadness? You mean vulnerability? You mean opening up your heart? Maybe tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us why you're crying. Tell us why these things are going on. The place to lose your fears. Why would I lose my fears in a place where I'm feeling tears? Of course I'm going to be fearful. I'm crying. I'm sad. I'm scared. Hello? Again, putting 2 things together. That don't work. That don't make sense. Yeah. Reckless behavior. He literally says reckless. Reckless. Not reckless behavior. Reckless behavior. You don't need another syllable there. You could just say, in the place that feels the tears, the place to lose your fears, reckless behavior. Not reckless behavior. Or so reckless behavior. So reckless behavior. A place that is so pure, so dirty and raw. Okay, raw does not rhyme with behavior, for one thing. 2, something cannot be pure and then also dirty and raw. These things don't work. They don't work. And the worst line, the worst offender of all, is, it's our paradise and it's our war zone. Okay, which one is it, dude? Seriously. Pick one. Pick one. I get that the point of the song, what he's trying to say, is that these people are not matched well for each other. I get that. That's not sexy. Having it be wrong and yet so right is sexy if you convey it properly. Okay? Look at someone like Sam Smith. I was saying Sean Smith before. I apologize. It's Sam Smith. Look at somebody like Sam Smith. What does he say? In his song Stay With Me, right? Stay with me, 'cause you're all I need. This ain't love, it's clear to see, but darling, stay with me. Very, very simple lyrics. But look at what they're saying. Just stay. I get it. This isn't love. This isn't going to work out long term. I know it. You know it. But I'm sad and I'm tired and I'm vulnerable. Just hold me. We've all been there. That's why that song is so popular. We've all been there. You know, very similar to Lady Antebellum's Need You Now. Right? We've all been there. We've been vulnerable and drunk, and it's been 1:15. This song doesn't work. It doesn't work because these people, there's no substance to them. There's no substance to this story. We're not getting wrapped up in it. He's just saying things that are opposites of each other, trying to create effect that's not happening. You know? It just absolutely doesn't work. It's terrible. You know? And pillow talk. My enemy, my ally. I mean, what are you, fucking Romeo? Like Romeo had better lies than this. You know? To the east and Juliet is the sun. Oh, right? Sick health, blah, blah, blah. This is crazy. Like he's trying to be a Romeo, a Don Juan. This guy that's really sexy and yet is you know, kind of fucked up. But it's just not working. And come on, man, it's Zayn. He's from One Direction. This is not blah. This is silly. I mean, ugh. And the thing is, lyrically it sucks. So there must be a good beat behind it, right? That would make sense. You know, because at least then it would explain his popularity. But no, this beat is atrocious. It kicks in sloppy and ugly and then fades weirdly and then slams into a chorus. And I guess it's meant to convey the sort of warring nature of what they're doing, but the explicitness of the lyrics and yet the lack of explicitness of the lyrics, it just doesn't allow any sort of conveyance of real emotion or real feeling. You know, this isn't sexy. It's not raw and sexy. It's clunky. You know, this sounds like somebody told Zayn, hey, write about a relationship that's destructive. He was like, well, I've never had one. I mean, most of my relationships are pretty good. And they're like, no, but that's something that a bad boy would do. And he's like, oh, okay, well, since I want to be a bad boy, I better do it. And he sits down and he writes this. And he's like, well, what do bad boys do? Well, they're all about conflict, right? You know, they love a girl and then they ride off on their motorcycles. Ooh, okay. We'll go slow and high tempo, light and dark, hold me in hard mellow. You know, and that's really what he's trying to do. I mean, it's silly. And the beat does him no favors. It's loud, it's clunky, it isn't sexy. It uses a hammer when a needle would have been better. You know, these songs are trying to convey musically what their lyrics can, or this song at least, is trying to convey musically what its lyrics cannot do. Its lyrics don't have actual power. So what they do is they try to cover it up with powerful sounds behind it, with these really loud, concussive chorus, and then turn around with very minimalist verses. And so that way they're hoping that the contrast of the two provides some sort of meaning that the lyrics cannot. And guess what? It doesn't work. It absolutely doesn't work. And yet, the remix, wow! I am shocked at how much I actually like this remix. One, there's pianos. Two, it's softer. It's easier to dance to. The lyrics might be crap, but the way they're sung is really nice. And allows for a lot of slow, sweeping kind of movements with your partner. But there's also nice little choppy ways he says things. There's nobody but you, nobody but me, body but us, bodies together. Right? You can kind of feel and see the tight, small little body rolls and waves and shoulder rolls that this song could provide to you. And then having that bachata beat and then having a nice minimalist chorus, we actually have time to soak in some of the lyrics. And even though, like I said, the lyrics are crap, at least it gives us a better chance to interpret them musically. And then there's also a rap verse, which I actually thought was really good. I thought the rapping was really neat and added a lot of depth to the song that the song didn't have. And having a rap verse on this remix version is great because now you can start using your hip-hop moves. You can start using sharper moves. And it adds this other layer to the song where the song started off very slow, very interpretive, almost lyrically interpretive, dancey, almost zooky kind of feel to it. And then now it has this nice softer hip hop feel to it. You can do sharper movements, more like like I said, more shoulder rolls, more body rolls, stuff like that. It's really great. And the last verse is surprisingly poignant. They actually change it. And he talks about he hates sleeping alone and he knows he's not going to see her for months and she's just going to leave. And what they had, there's a void there when she's gone. And he realizes that, even though he knows they're not good for each other. And it just blew my mind. I was like, why isn't this in the original? I mean, this would actually add something. This would add some real character to the characters. All of a sudden, we would be like, whoa, dude. Like this is wrong. And you guys are always fucking and fighting and fucking and fighting and bad all day, bad all day, bad all day. But now there's meaning to it. Because now he realizes that despite all of the craziness and all the crap, he loves her and he's going to really miss her. And he hates sleeping alone without her. Wow. Who knew Zayn had that in him? Like, I can relate to that. I've been with a lot of girls that are completely wrong for me, but when they're gone, I'm like, shit, I do miss them. So I really, really like the poignancy of this song and this remix, and it's wonderful, and I really enjoy it. And being able to dance to it and all the different moves you can do, it blows my mind. And I'll tell you this, because I hate the original. The original is really, really, really bad. I mean, it's a disaster from top to bottom. And yet, here I am. And I like it. Who knew I was going to actually like a One Direction song? Excuse me, a Zayn song. My bad. Alright, moving on. Number 2. It's Drake's Hotline Bling. This song is an even bigger mess than Zayn's song. Because at least Zayn's song was trying to be evocative. It was trying to bring up images. It was trying to make you think and make you feel something. Drake's song is just stupid and petty. Oh my god. You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone. Really? Okay, so basically this is a booty call, right? And then the rest of the song is him just bitching about how when he left town, ever since I left the city, you got a reputation for yourself now. Like, oh my god, she's going out. People know her now. She has friends. Wow. Filling up the pages in her passport? You mean she's traveling? Oh, no. Imposible. No es bueno. The fact that Drake cannot handle an actually strong, independent woman who is finally doing her own thing and living her own life, the fact that this makes him insecure and it just proves he's a whiny little bitch. Like, my god, man. Used to be a good girl, used to stay at home. Really? Used to stay at home and do what? Fuck you, Drake? Like, that's pretty much it. Because remember, all you had was a booty call. This is just friends with benefits. I mean, and like, lyrically, this song doesn't make sense. What the fuck is a hotline bling? I know what a hotline is. I know what bling is. But why are the two together? And it's just his way of saying my cell phone was ringing. Why does he just say ring? Because I know when my cell phone rings, that can only mean one thing. See? That is actually clear lyrically. Hotline bling is not. It means nothing. It has no purpose. He's just saying it to try to sound cool, like he was doing with YOLO, 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 YOLO. It just makes him sound stupid. Oh, my God. And then he rhymes out with out easily 10 times. And what the fuck is rolling up a backwoods for someone else? I know what bending over backwards for someone else, but then he immediately follows up with rolling up a backwoods for someone else. What the fuck does that mean? Does that mean like going to like some cabin in the woods and banging some dude? Or like rolling up a joint? Like, I don't get it. And I'm sorry, newsflash, Drake, you're the one that did her wrong. She does belong. And she's traveling now. And guess what? All you had was a friends with benefits relationship, so you do not have the right to be this butthurt about it. I'm sorry. I've been in several friends with benefits relationships, and you know what? When they ended, I like to think that we remained friends. You know why? Because that's what the first fucking word in the whole thing is. Friends with benefits. Friends. So you're supposed to be friends first. Okay? That's how these things work. And when they end, you know what you do? You still part as friends. You don't be a whiny little bitch that this girl is actually better off because she's not with you. I mean, Drake, you are probably the guy that all these girl power anthems were sung about. Oh, good. I finally left Drake. You know what? Girl power. Fuck that. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Da, 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 da. Right? I'm just every single, Kelly Clarkson ripoff has sung a song like this. And they're probably about a guy just like Drake, who was doing the same shit, who had his fun with you, left town, left you stranded, and then you know what? You realized your life was better, and then you made it better, and then he came back like, hey, what the hell? Why are you doing stuff better? Why are you having fun? Why do you have friends? Why do you have a life now? This sucks. Hey! You know what, Drake? Shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut the fuck up. And this song is boring. It's monotone. It's monotonous. It's lame. And you know what? So many of my friends love this stupid song. It's like their hype song. I'm like, this song? Really? There's way more better songs to get hyped to. Oh, man. And yet... So, caveat to this one. I listened to the DJ Soultrix remix. So... the singer is not actually Drake anymore. It's Charlie Puth, who sang the Marvin Gaye song and also the Chivalry is Dead song. I think. I'm not sure about the second one. But he did do the Marvin Gaye song. Anyway, having a legit singer, it makes this song significantly better. Like, way better. And Soultrix nails this one. The bachata beat syncs up perfectly, and it gives us this smooth jazzy feel now, whereas before it really sounded like a synthesized lounge singer song. I mean, the beat was just atrocious, but now, my god, it's rhythmic, it's soothing, but it's also snazzy. It's got energy to it, but not so much energy that it throws off the song. You know what it sounds like now? Soultrix has made this sound like Sinatra is singing this, or Michael Bublé is singing this, or in this case, Charlie Puth. You know, I think Charlie Puth's voice adds a lot to this, and the choice of Soultrix to use this particular version of Hotline Bling is very poignant. And there's also a female singer, and the female singer sings the second verse. And so, because there is now two sides to this story, all of a sudden, the entire meaning of the narrative has changed. Now it's two people that have fucked up. It's two people that are feeling jealous. It's two people that are thinking about, hey, maybe we made a mistake. You know? Yes, we're both off better than we were before. But it's possible we fucked up. And it sucks that we're both better off for it. Because even though we both made mistakes, there are mistakes that we should have made. Because ultimately we are better now. That's interesting to me. Because you hear a lot of like breakup songs where one side is mad at the other and one side is always blaming the other. You know, you don't hear a lot of songs where they're like, hey, we both fucked up, we both made mistakes, but it was kind of a good thing. Like, both of our lives are better now because of this. Yeah, maybe there's some lingering negativity there, but I'm traveling, I'm doing stuff. I'm having more fun now. I love that idea. You know? And the lyrics now are less pathetic. And so because they're less pathetic and they're less whiny and they're less petty, now when you move to them, it enhances movement now. It aids in your movement because now you're not interpreting them through the lens of Drake. You can interpret them through the lens of two jilted lovers. And that adds for a lot of romance. That adds for a lot of vulnerability. That adds for a lot of movement that can be interpreted as poignant. It adds for a lot of sweeping, dramatic movements now. Plus, there's a lot of like hip-hop movements there. There's a lot of added layers in there. And now if you wanted to use hip-hop movements, if you wanted to be sharper in your movements, you can do that too. Like, it's all there. I think a smooth, jazzy interpretation is probably the best way to go. But that doesn't... The song doesn't shut itself off like that. It doesn't close itself off into one musical interpretation. It allows for a lot of different ways to feel the song and to interpret the song. And that is the mark of a great song, and especially a great remix, is that everybody can listen to this, feel this in a different way, interpret it in a different way. And that's what makes this vastly superior to the original song. Number 1. I had to think long and hard about this one. But ultimately, this was the one that actually inspired the list. And I wasn't sure it was going to be number 1. And I looked through easily 300 different songs. I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it. And doggone it, there is no way in hell any other song was going to be number 1 aside from this one. It is... Katy Perry's Dark Horse. If any of you know me, you're probably not shocked by this one. But let me go in depth and explain. This beat, I thought Climax's beat was bad. Because the crazy part is I never actually heard the original Climax. I actually heard the Bachata remix first. And then, when I heard the original song, I was disgusted. I was like, this is terrible. Oh my god. I mean, the Bachata remix is way better. Just as a song. Just listening sonically. The way it sounds is so much better. But Dark Horse, this is an atrocity. This is not even pleasing sounds. I thought synthesized farts were bad. This sounds like synthesized diarrhea. It's stilted, it's gross, it's trappy, but also loud and obnoxious, and it's supposed to be darkly sexual, but I really think the producer of this beat was just in the dark in the studio going buttons. It sounds like Beaker from the Muppets, right? Good one. Good one, Beaker. Why don't you make a song with Katy Perry? Oh, God. It's just, ugh. Like, every choice that they made when it comes to sound, from the beats, to the lyrics, to the singing, was wrong. It was absolutely wrong. Having Katy Perry's breathy, It sounds like your grandma is like humming, is like breathing in your ear when she sings. It's terrible. She's trying so hard, but she can't hit any of the notes. None of the notes sound right, and the auto-tune is atrocious. Oh, don't even get me started on Juicy J. I mean, this guy a rapper? That's terrible. I mean, the lyrics that he chooses are not only terrible puns, they're violent. They're dark. I'm going to put this girl, I'm going to call her Sleeping Beauty, so I'll put her in a coma? How do you interpret that differently? You can sex a girl into a coma, right? Ice Cube said, my Jimmy runs deep, so deep it put her butt to sleep. Okay. That's kind of crass, but at least I get it. At least I understand it. I'm okay with that happening. I'm okay with Ice Cube having sex with some girl. I'm not okay with Juicy J putting a girl into a coma. Who does that? Who even says that? And then he's like, oh, I got addicted to Shorty. Oh, she like a drug. She turned the bedroom into a fair. A fair? Have you been to the fair? You know what? There's a lot of rides that induce nausea, and there's a lot of shit that's sticky and bad for you. Okay, that does kind of sound like sex with Katy Perry, but I don't think that was the intention of the song. Oh, God. And just, you know, the little part where it says, there's no going back. Dun, 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 dun. This song sounds like the Tourette syndrome guy who says fuck all the time was going to make a song that he was going to say fuck on, but then at the last second they dropped him and brought in Katy Perry. Fuck, 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 fuck. I mean, it is a complete disaster from top to bottom. And I remember hearing this song and hearing that it went to #1, and I was like, oh, okay, I should probably listen to it. And I kept hearing it. And I was like, why do I hate this song more and more and more? It's not just the overplay. And like, I know when a song is just getting overplayed. Right? You can just feel it. You're like, I'm over the song. It's been overplayed. But the song itself is still good. The more I heard this song, the more I hated it. And then I was like, wow, the lyrics are stupid. The beat is atrocious. The rapping is terrible. The musical choices when to like have her be breathy or have her be sexy or have her be loud are terrible. There's a huge buildup that just leads into nothing. It just drops out into a terrible, terrible beat. I mean, everything, lyrically, the song is just dumb. It's fucking dumb. Yes, Juicy J is bad. Katy Perry is really bad. Make me your Aphrodite, make me your one and only, but don't make me your everything, your everything, your everything, your everything. She just repeats herself like 3, 4, 5 lines in a row. You know? This love will make you levitate like a bird without a cage. Birds don't levitate, they fly. Okay, the only bird that could maybe levitate is a hummingbird. And nobody cages a hummingbird. Hello, Katy Perry. None of your fucking lyrics make sense. Are you ready for the perfect storm? Of course you're not. A perfect storm happens because two storms that are far away from each other coalesce into a giant storm. Of course you're not ready for it because you're in the middle of that shit. It doesn't work as a fucking metaphor. Are you ready for the perfect storm? Because once you're mine, there's no going back. I guess that kind of works. Do you want to play with magic? Boy, you should know what you're falling for. Baby, do you dare to do this because I'm coming at you like a dark horse? Okay, let me explain to you what a dark horse is. A dark horse is something that nobody thought was going to be good, which then later on turns out to be amazing. That's what a dark horse is. It's not just some big giant horse that's coming at you. Okay? This is Katy Perry. The whole first verse is her talking about how much of a sex goddess she is. And how you should just love her. And her love's going to make you levitate. This is not a dark horse. This is not somebody coming out of nowhere. This is somebody who is already there. Katy Perry's sexiness, while that's debatable, in my opinion, I think for the masses cannot be denied. Classically, she is a sexy-looking woman. And is she good in bed? Probably, I would guess. But her songs would imply that she was. So, she's not a dark horse. She's not coming out of nowhere. If this was her first song, it would make sense. This was like her 10th #1 hit or something like that. So she's not a dark horse. You're using the metaphor wrong. It's just wrong. Everything in this song, the metaphor is wrong. And so, as an English major, it grates on me to listen to this song. And it just infuriated me to hear the song over and over and over again. I can excuse Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball, because like I said, I did like the lyrics, even though the beat was shit. I can excuse Usher's Climax, because like I said, I did enjoy the lyrics, even though the beat was really shit. I can excuse some of Zayn's Pillow Talk, because at least it was evocative and it was trying to create a mood, albeit doing it terribly. I could even excuse Drake, because the song is just fucking silly. This song is trying to portray itself as a darkly sexual song. Almost gothic in feeling. And it's absolutely failing on all cylinders. And the more I listen to the song, the more I hate it. And yet, my god, the remix is good. Getting a legit singer who has a pleasing tone and pleasing vocal control helps a ton. Removing Juicy J as the rapper and just having the singer do the rapping as well, it changes everything. In her hands, these lyrics all of a sudden have meaning. I believe her. I believe her softness, but I also believe her fierceness. I can see this person being a very confident woman in herself and in her sexuality. I actually believe when I hear her singing that yes, she could come from nowhere and become something amazing. Because with Katy Perry, because she's so diva-y and so breathy and so in your face, you don't believe that she's coming from nothing to be something. You don't feel like she's emerging out of something into this amazing thing. She's already out there. She's already in your face, right? Whereas this singer, I believe her name is Megan Davies, because of her soft and very feminine and beautiful singing voice, all of a sudden, yes, I do believe that this person has this hidden fire and hidden sexuality to her. And it's something that I would want to bring out. And because of that, when I dance, I can now imagine me bringing my own internal sexuality out and bringing out that of my partners. And now, this is a song about discovery, about bringing out from each other this inner sexuality, this inner fire, this dark horse feeling, this animalistic feeling. And it's slow, it's subtle, it's smooth, but it's also sharp, it's also tight. It can be minimalist and dramatic at the same time. There are hundreds of ways to dance this song, to interpret this song. Even on the rapping part, it really sounds good, and you can utilize your hip-hop, you can utilize your Dominican, you can utilize all the moves that you have into this one song, into this one beautiful, amazing remix. And believe me, the original song is god freaking awful. It's disgustingly bad. But the remix is amazing. I cannot believe that this is the same song. It just completely changes the mood. This is very, very similar to the old Eurythmics song, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. And when the original song has a very synthesized beat to it, it's very I don't want to say sterile, but it's very rhythmic and steady, and it was almost a little comical. It was kind of scary, but a little comical. And it was just a good pop song. It was a good song to hear and beat your head to, right? And then Marilyn Manson came out and did a version of it and completely changed the song. It became dark, scary, gothic. You can imagine a stalker singing this song. Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? And when he says some of them want to use you, some of them want to be used by you, some of them want to abuse you, some of them want to be abused. When the Eurythmics sang it, it was like, oh, okay, that's kind of a cool line. That's neat. When he sings it, it's like, oh God, don't hurt me. There's legit fear when he sings this. And so when Katy Perry sings this song, like I said, it's just a mess. It's not sexy. It's weird. It's bulky. It's clunky. It's just, It's the verbal equivalent to somebody dropping a bunch of boxes. But the remix, wow. Smooth, sensual, clean, beautiful. The interpretations are endless with this song. Every time I dance to it, I do something a little different, or I pick out something a little different, or I feel something a little different. And that's really a mark of a great song and a great remix. Just like I said with the Drake song, is it allows you to interpret in many, 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 many different ways. And this song in particular is just done so well. And I love it now. And I am shocked that I love it, because nobody would have convinced me that this Katy Perry song could have been any good. And I don't like Katy Perry. I mean, not only do I not like the song, I don't like Katy Perry in general. And she has like 2 songs, maybe 3 that I enjoy. That's about it. To hear this remix, I mean, I wanted to perform to this remix. That's how good I thought it was. And to think that I would want to perform it to a song that I absolutely despise. I despise this song more than any other song on this list, and to have this remix have that change, that's why it is the #1 song that I hate and I think sucks, but the Bachata remix is great. So, really want to thank you guys for sticking in and watching this entire video. I really appreciate it. And the reason I made it is just because don't hold on to your preconceived notions. Don't hold on to those things that you think that you should set in stone. Give songs a chance to move you. And give people a chance to move you. Maybe you got a bad first impression on somebody. Well, you know what? It's okay to have that impression. But don't let that color all of your interpretations of them from here on out. Don't let that color all of your interactions with them. It would suck to think that somebody made a small faux pas and you held that against them for as long as you knew them. I mean, that's terrible. I mean, I fuck up all the time. I'd really hope that people would just give me more of a chance, and then be able to see the good person that I believe I am. And so I really try to do that with others. I really try to give people as much of a chance as I possibly can. And you should too. It's the same thing in dance. You may have a bad dance with somebody, but after a year or so, you see them again. They've probably been training and probably have gotten better. Give them another try. Maybe even 2 months, 3 months down the road. So, people can get better and people can change. Every time I dance with somebody from out of town that I haven't seen for a while, they're like, whoa, you've gotten way better. I'm like, really? Did I suck back then? Like, no, I know I didn't suck back then. But the incremental changes that I had made, they weren't around for them. And so they're seeing all the results of the last however many months of work. And when they experience that, it seems like, boom, there's a huge gap, a huge jump in the level of dance that I had before. And so that's a really good feeling. And believe me, everybody is, assuming they want to, are getting better. And so always, I think you should definitely give more people a chance, give more songs a chance, just give more of a chance to everything. So I hope this list entertained you. I hope you really enjoyed this video. And once again, I really want to thank you for watching. And the Rockstar is about to leave the building.